Let's get into the what-ifs of late World War II German naval strategy. The German Atlantic Cruiser project is the overarching design program, while the Hildebrand cruiser was one of the most advanced and detailed specific proposals within that program. As the tide of World War II turned against Germany after 1942-43, the surface Kriegsmarine could no longer effectively challenge the Allies on the open ocean. The concept of the Atlantic Cruiser emerged as a solution. The goal was to design a large, heavily armed, long-range cruiser that could operate as a single, powerful commerce raider. Unlike the earlier pocket battleships or heavy cruisers, like the Admiral Hipper class, which were built within the constraints of international treaties, the Atlantic Cruiser was a purely wartime design with no tonnage restrictions. It was intended to be fast enough to evade powerful Allied battleship task forces, yet strong enough to overwhelm any convoy escort, like a cruiser or armed merchant cruiser, it might encounter. The Hildebrand cruiser, named after its chief designer, engineer Wilhelm Hildebrand, was the most mature and technically refined iteration of the Atlantic cruiser concept. It is often considered the definitive design. By 1943, Admiral Dönitz had shifted all naval priority to the U-boat war. Steel, manpower, and shipyard space were desperately needed for U-boat construction, not massive surface raiders. It remains a fascinating paper project and a testament to late-war German naval engineering. Today we're taking a close look at the new Hildebrand, a Tier 10 premium cruiser. We can accurately call it a hybrid or an aviation cruiser. It's the second of this type to join Tier 10, following the Kommissar. For some historical context on this ship type, you can check out our dedicated Kommissar content. We see the two different camouflages we've encountered lately. I'll be moving forward with the Iron Cross camo. For my equipment and consumable setup, I've generally followed a standard cruiser approach. However, I did add the supply pack consumable, which boosts aircraft health. It's an item I typically pick on aircraft carriers. For my commander, I've chosen the German captain, Günther Lütjens. This choice requires a bit of explanation. With his skills, you can spec the Hildebrand almost as if it were a carrier. However, it's crucial to note that this cruiser does not have any fighter squadrons. I highly recommend taking his first skill, which improves aircraft squadron turning speed. The ship has solid brawler characteristics. The close quarters combat expert skill is still very handy, and better consider to boost your torpedoes on the 12th skill. The bombers themselves aren't exceptionally powerful, but I still took the level 9 Dauntless Dive Bombers skill. Alternatively, you could go for AP shell penetration. As those who watched the Kommissar review might remember, any commander's skill, 13, is a key feature. It increases your main battery range after spotting 3 different enemy ships. I find this skill to be highly effective and easily activated on hybrid warships, which is why I've selected it. The Hildebrand's stock range isn't bad, but this skill allows you to extend it significantly right from the start of a match. Now, let's compare its air group to a very similar ship, the Graf Zeppelin. Both have the same number of squadrons, but the Hildebrands have increased capacity and damage. One of the most critical differences, however, is the lack of fighter squadrons on the Hildebrand. On the plus side, its anti-aircraft suite is superior, as befits a Tier 10 vessel. To give you a better idea of the Hildebrand's secondary battery, let's compare it to the Napoli, a cruiser that provides an excellent benchmark in this department. A quick but important tip: to get the full efficiency out of these secondaries, remember to switch their shell type from HE to AP. It's a step I somehow always forget. In this content, unfortunately, I forgot to switch, but you will remember from now on. Sorry that I didn't record again the whole thing with AP secondaries. Check the significant difference in damage potential, and auto secondaries are fine. Finally, let's examine the Hildebrand's main guns by comparing them to those of the Puerto Rico heavy cruiser. The two ships share interesting similarities in dimensions, hit points, and gun caliber. Players familiar with the Puerto Rico will already have a good feel for the Hildebrand's maneuverability and acceleration. The Hildebrand's firepower comes from two triple turrets, both concentrated on the bow. There are no turrets at the stern. This layout makes it exceptionally well suited for a bow-tanking playstyle. It's a beautiful ship. Now I'll leave you with some gameplay footage and a full unedited battle. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
The enemy's about to win. The enemy's about to win. I can see them, turtles! Kids, we're professionals. Do not try this at home. I can see them, turtles. Penetration! Knockout! We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly. Got him! Let's do some serious damage! Penetration! Got him! Penetration! Got him! Hang in there, help is on the way. Nice work! Nice work! Many thanks! trained to fight enemies, not can openers. I can see them, turtles. Got him! I can see them, turtles. I can see them, turtles. Let's do some serious damage. Penetration. Knockout. Let's do some serious damage. dusted them off. Knockout. Penetration. We're flooding quickly.